Okay, hello everyone. Yeah, this is another video as regards how to design a study. Okay, so here we're going to talk about how to design a case study. Okay, now let's go straight to the question. All right, now the question. All right, Dr. Sarah Miller is interested in investigating the personal experiences and coping strategies of individuals diagnosed with schizophrenia who are receiving community-based treatment. All right. Now, design a case study to explore this aspect. We are looking at the personal experience. We just want to understand the personal experience and coping strategies of individuals that have schizophrenia. So, how can we design that? Now, first and foremost, try to outline your paragraph. Okay, introduction of case study design. So, you can introduce the case study methodology, defining its purpose. Okay, for an in-depth qualitative exploration of complex psychological phenomena in this situation. That is what we are doing. All right. So it's a case study. We don't really need to talk about the IV, the DV. Okay, that is mostly related to experiment and maybe observation to some extent, and for example, longitudinal study too, and self-report can also have IV and DV depending on the situation. Okay, so but then for case study, it's not actually necessary. Just explain the case study design and pattern. All right, so paragraph 2, you can talk about participant selection. Okay, explain the use of purposive sampling. All right, in the sense that, okay, maybe purposive sampling here, I'm trying to talk about, maybe you can use voluntary sampling, okay, or you can use opportunity sampling. I think opportunity sampling is good. You can just go to maybe a particular hospital, all right, clinical hospital, and then try to recruit participants that are available there, okay, or maybe you throw in an advertisement and you recruit those that are there. So yeah, data collection method. Now here is the most important part of the case study. Okay, describe the collection via semi-structured interview, okay, okay, or observation, or questionnaire. If it's a case study, then you can use multiple method, right? You can use multiple method of analyzing the data, okay, and review the clinical record to capture rich and contextual data of the person, how the person is coping, okay, number one, and number two, how the person is um the personal experiences, okay, and then how the person is coping. Now, the method of analysis: outline the use of quantitative thematic analysis, how you're going to identify the result, okay, including coding and triangulation, okay, coding the behavior. All right, we spoke about coding behavior under when you use, for example, structured observation, okay, and then you encode the behavior. When you see a certain behavior, what does this behavior represent? Does it mean it's a positive behavior or it's a negative behavior? All right, trying to encode whatever it is you can see, so to ensure the credibility and validity of the finding. Okay, let's move on. Introduction to the case study. Dr. Miller's study employs a case study methodology, all right, which is ideal for exploring complex this is just like an introduction. All right, this approach allows this, okay, coping strategies and that. Now, participant selection, you can use purposive sampling, which we'll talk about, or maybe you can use volunteer sampling. All right, volunteer sampling. All right, so that depends on you, which will be used to select one or a few individuals who have been diagnosed with schizophrenia and are currently receiving this. So this depends on you. All right, you can also recruit people and you will still give them um, maybe if you remember, if this is for A level now, remember we spoke about the BSI, okay, which is brief symptom inventory that can be used to measure interpersonal sensitivity and some other detail, okay, to decode if someone is pessimistic or optimistic. All right, so you can use maybe a test like that to validate if the person is schizophrenic or not, okay. But if you don't want to waste too much words on that, you can just simply go with something that is already done, that, for example, people that have already been diagnosed by clinicians to be having schizophrenia. Now, participant will be chosen based on specific criteria such as age. You can discuss the duration of illness, an engagement and this and this and this and that. All right. Now, how you're going to collect data is the most important part. Like I said earlier, data will be gathered through semi-structured interview. So that depends on you, which allow participants to describe their experience. Now, when they describe their experience, don't forget you have to encode the data, right? You have to encode what they are saying, okay, in their own words, while providing some structure to ensure key topics are covered. So you can have listed questions, okay, and then you can ask follow-up questions. In addition, direct observation of their behavior, okay, in a therapeutical or support setting. All right, so you can also do that. That depends on how you want to go about it. All right, you can also decide to give them a questionnaire where they have to rate how they're coping. So you can just design about two, at least two, don't use one please, at least 2 or 3 different methods with which you're going to collect the data from the participants. So case study, you are focusing more on the data collection. Very important, right? Now, the quantitative data collected will be analyzed using thematic analysis. All right. This involves coding the interviews, transcript, and observation notes to identify recurring theme and pattern in the participant experience. Okay. Triangulation will be used to enhance the credibility of the finding by cross-checking data from the interviews, observation, and clinical result. So you try to compare from all those methods you've used to identify the behavior, and you try to match them together. So this is very, very important. The important part, like I said earlier, is how you encode the behavior. I mean, like how you gather the behavior. All right. Include at least 2 methods. Okay. But if you want your essay to be a little lengthy and very, very meaningful, try to include something like 3. Okay, 3 different methods, and then explain them in detail how you're going to do that. So how you're going to analyze the data now, you code the behavior, thematic analysis, right? Okay, so I hope you've learned 1 or 2 things. All right, please, you can subscribe to my channel, okay, for more videos like this. All right, I wish you all the best in your study.